Chairman is recognized for 3 minutes. Mr. Clyburn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank my friend for yielding the time. Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of HR-2, the Moving Forward Act. My overarching mission in Congress is to make America's greatness accessible and affordable for all Americans. And the primary means by which we connect all Americans to our country's greatness is our infrastructure. The Moving Forward Act will do just that. For too long, many American communities have been left behind, and as we invest in infrastructure, we must restructure our priorities to fulfill our nation's vision of liberty and justice for all. My 10-20-30 initiative targets investments in persistent poverty areas. I am pleased that this legislation includes several provisions to accomplish this goal, including prioritizing areas of persistent poverty in awarding funds for transportation projects of national and regional significance. These funds will help connect persistent poverty areas to economic opportunities, and I thank Chairman DeFazio for including these important provisions. Fairly qualified community health centers are essential for the success of rural and high poverty communities, and I am pleased that HR-2 includes $10 billion for community health centers capital project grants. HR-2 includes significant investments to make long overdue repairs and upgrades to public housing. I commend Chairwoman Maxine Waters for her determined advocacy for these measures. The bill also recognizes the essential link between housing and transportation. If you can't afford to live anywhere near economic opportunity, the best highways and transit systems in the world won't meet your needs. Recognizing this reality, this bill includes language from a bill that I introduced to Senator Booker, the HOME Act, directing state and local transportation planners to consider projects and strategies that will support inclusive zoning and land use planning practices. HR-2 includes $100 billion for the Accessible, Affordable Broadband Act, legislation I introduced last week with the Rural Broadband Task Force and members of the Energy and Commerce Committee led by Chairman Pallone. Mr. Speaker, the Moving America Forward Act won't simply connect Americans to opportunities through the infrastructure it builds. It will connect Americans to opportunities through the jobs created to build it. I strongly support the extension of the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program at the Department of Transportation. Our country is facing difficult circumstances. The burden is falling disproportionately on those of whom America's greatness has not always been accessible and affordable, even in better times. I urge the passage of the Moving Forward Act, and I'll yield back.
Chairman's time has expired.